Welcome to Green Living Innovations YouTube channel. I'm your presenter Rohit Kalasa. I'm happy that you have joined also, and I'm happy that you are watching this video. So to remind you, just last time I talked about how we can use Power Pivots to analyze our data. We've also discussed how to use some functions and formulas like SUMIF, related, and so many more. Today I have great news for you. I want to show you how you can keep on making your work much easier at the workplace where you work from if you are a Microsoft Excel user each and every day. What is that power thing that I'm talking about that you need to learn today at Green Living Innovations? I want to show you how you can use this unique pattern that we find under data here. This what we call query. So what is Power Query? What can it do for us? So Power Query can help you to get both the insights and clean up the data at once. For example, let's pretend that you are a business analyst and every month you are on point to analyze the monthly sales data. Now, one of the parents of job that we all know is that first you have to get the data so that you can get it from elsewhere in the database, wherever it is. If it is in Microsoft Workspace, you can grab it from there. Alright, so after collecting this data, then maybe you are going to bring it into Excel, then you have to clean it up. Maybe you have to remove some columns, add some columns, learn some calculations in it, then finally you're ready to analyze it. Alright? Good. So instead of you be doing each and every time this thing, why can't we group the whole data that is similar and put Power Pivot in it or Power Query in it so that it can be doing all this work for us? We just do it for today, then next month, next year, we can just be bringing data in like the way you can see on my screen. I'm having the revenues here, I'm having the cost here. Yeah, this is the orders for 2022. Then in 2021, I'm having the customer IDs there. And as you can see, there is one error that I really don't want in here, right? And this error can be seen here. As you can see on the customer IDs, it is combined and I'm having the names in there, right? I don't have the column for profit here. I'm only having the revenue, the cost, the order date. Then I don't even know how many days does these cookies spend in the warehouse before we ship them out from the day that our customers ordered. As we all know, at Roy Cookies we have a lot of products there, and I can see the name of the products that we have been selling here. Alright, then in the 2022 it's the same procedure. I'm just having money, the revenues there, the cost, the order date, the ship date, and the orders there again. So I need to do something. I need to calculate the profit, I need to calculate the dates, then I need also to bring this data together from 2021 2022 and should put this thing together, right? This can be a little bit overwhelming to you, but don't feel intimidated. It's very simple. Power Query can do all of this that we've just talked about. Alright, so let's use the 2022 data that I'm having right now. I want to return the 2021 order data into 2022 worksheet, bring these names together, then have just one worksheet with everything that I've talked about. We're going to calculate the cost. We are going to separate these names here. The customer IDs must be separate. Right. So click on New Query. Then we are going to have the sources where you can grab your data from. For example, from file here, I can get from Workbook, from CSV, from Excel. Then even if I'm having a folder, I can just grab the folder and analyze that folder, so that when I transfer any data into that folder, it must follow the principles that I'm going to insert in here. Right? That's the power of Power Query. AI should not be doing this work each and every day. AI should just do it once I automate this workbook so that if I have a new worksheet opened in it, it is going to follow that data model. So great. I'm in my Excel. As you can see, I'm opening on a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to click on From Workbook. Then you can get your workbook from wherever you install it, wherever it is. Make sure that you find it. So me, I've gotten that, and it's this 2022. That's the one that I want to work on. Alright, so give it time to load. Now, as you can see here on the navigator, it's giving me the search. Then I'm having multiple items. Yes, I want to grab a lot. Then I'm having table 1 and table 2 in this. This might be some errors, or I have the empty tables that have not named in these worksheets. But the data that I want to return is this. I want to combine 2021 and 2022 data orders. Alright, so that has given me the preview of that. Another important button that I can talk about is this, the load and load to. But in this case, I don't want to transform anything. I just want to edit this data and bring it back together. So simply click on edit, then give it time to load. Alright, there I'm in Power Query Editor now. As you can see on top there, order data to query editor. Then to this side, I can see the links that I'm working on, the data that I'm working on. Alright, so to this side, as you can see now, I'm having the history of everything that has been done. And one thing that I'm here for, don't worry about the interface, I'll be explaining at each and every stage. This is the worksheet. This is how the worksheet is going to look, and this is the data that we've tried to combine here now. So one thing that I'm here for is to separate the customer IDs from the customer names. So simply click on that. Then you can click on add column there, or just at the home button you can see that there is splint column here. I need to splint this, then let's click on that. Say by delimiter, which is the space that we are having there. Then the delimiter setup, let's put it to space. We just need to have space, not tab. We need to have space in between in there. Then at advanced button here, I don't want to have a lot of them. Let me just get 4 maybe. Let me see how best they're going to work for me if it loads. Alright. Okay. If I can check here, as you can see, I'm just having that, right? But here I need to delete this, and I can have YT and restaurant. It's looking like just one. Great. So as you can see, I've separated this customer ID data in here and the name, but I'm having this person alone here, but I don't need this, so I'm going to delete this column. I can remove it using that button. I remove the columns, and great, it is gone. And now one more thing. Yes, I'm having the customer ID in this column, and here's the same customer ID, and this is customer ID 4, but these are the names. It's YT and the rest, and these are the names. So I need to combine this. So simply click on customer ID 3, then hold control, customer ID 4, then come on top here, click on add columns, right? Then find this button, merge columns. Merge columns, click on it. Then it is going to ask you the separators. We can put that space in between. Then what's the title of the new column that we are going to have? I want to have this as customer names. I need this to be as customer names, right? Alright, then let me hit enter or OK. Then where is that? Right? Let me check. I must have it somewhere. Okay, I'm having this here. But again, check one more thing. I'm still having customer ID 3 here and customer ID 4 here. So these two, I can simply delete them because I've returned this data. I've combined these columns and I'm having the one that I really need. So I can delete that. Let me remove these columns. Alright, great. So now let me drag them, the one that I've just formulated, and I want to bring it next to customer IDs, and it must look pretty good just like that. So I'm having customer ID. First I'm having the order ID here, then customer ID in, then the customer name, and the cookie shipped, right? I'm also having the revenues, the cost, but I don't have profit. And remember, one thing why I came here is that after I combine the names of this, I should calculate the cost, right? I mean the profit, sorry for that. I must calculate the profit. So we all know that the profit is revenue subtract cost. Whatever we're going to remain with is that. So simply click on revenue there, then hold control, click on cost, then click on the add button column there, on add column button there, then come to statistics. This is a calculator now where we can add, we can multiply, we can subtract, we can divide, and divide the integer, then we can even use the modular. Now in this case I just want to subtract, right? Great. Then it's the new column that has been added. It has been added here at the far end. So let's double click on that and name it as profit, right? That's the profit that I really want. Then I'm going to wait for it to load. Let me bring it next to cost. Right, good. And as you can see, my worksheet is looking pretty good according to the way that I want. Just I've removed the errors that I noticed, then I'm just having that. Great. What else do I need to calculate in here? I said that I need to tell my customers how many days the cookies spend in our warehouse before we ship them, right? Alright, for example, here they ordered on 18th November 2020 and the shipping was done on 21st. So I need to calculate the difference here. How many days the cookies spent when we're just packing them. So simply click on ship date, then hold control, click on order date. Then just on top here under the column, add column button here, you are having something like a calendar there which is written as date. So click on there, and these other options, they are in faint, they are inactive at the moment. What is active? You just subtract days. So even Power Query knows what you can do once you highlight the data. So the formulas, they are already embedded in it. There is no need of you to start having those calculations in here, right? So simply click on subtract days. Then there, right, I'm having that. Let me try to change in here. Maybe I remove the no. Let me try to filter it like that way. And let me see. Alright, this, and I say okay. Great. So I'm having the date difference here. So let me bring it close here. Let's wait for it to load. Great. So that I can know how many days this really spent in the worksheet. So I've combined this data, and as you can see here, this is my history. If I made a mistake, maybe there is something that I really don't need at this point of time, I can just come in here and use the star here to remove that button or that action that I did to the data. Let's click on add custom now. Now I don't need to customize that. Let's click on the home button and close and load, right? Let me wait for it to load and see if there is anything that has happened. Alright, good. As you can see, things has happened in here, right? But as you can see, I'm having what I calculated the cost. Let me check on this other worksheet, sheet number 5. And here, boom, I'm having what I calculated, everything, the profit, the order date, the ship date, right, everything. I've removed that error. Here I can see only the names for the customers, here the customer IDs and the order ID. So this is detached, this is different. Then the days that our cookies stay in the warehouse is well calculated here in the date difference. So Power Query is very nice, right? Now one thing that I love about Power Query is that when I come here and place my cursor in there, it can tell me the route where I got this data, that the data source is where in this folder that I've just selected. And it can tell me the number of columns, that I'm having 8 columns and I'm having that and that. So if I want, I can simply click on cookies shipped, then it is going to show me that, oh, this is the part that I'm talking about. Then last refresh, it is showing me as well, right? So one more thing is that Power Query and pivot tables, they work great if we combine them. So if you haven't watched the video for Power Pivot, I recommend that you find it in the description below. There is a link to that video. Or you can simply go to Green Living Innovations YouTube channel where you are right now, and using the search button, just type pivot tables. You're going to see some tricks that you can apply to that. So let's bring them in here and see how best that can be done. Before I move, one more thing, let's not forget that this revenue and the profit is the sum of money, right? So let me come at the home button here, click in the profit, and let me try to put that, right? The dollar sign must be seen in there. Alright, good. So this also I need to put that dollar sign, and here I need to insert the dollar sign. Alright, so we have that now. What's next is to insert the pivot tables. So simply click on insert. To your left you are having Power Pivot. Then let's grab this data here, and I would love it to be on a new worksheet, right? Then I'm now in this data in Power Pivot or pivot table field. So let's I want to see how many customers came through. So I'm going to drag customers into the rows, right? Then let's see the profit that we've made on values. So I can see that Akimi Groceries, we made the profit of this to them, right? Then if I want to see the orders that they made or the cost or the revenue, I can simply drag that. Alright, I can simply drag that and give it. Let me see maybe if these things has been happened, and see how many orders were made for each. We can see that Akimi Groceries made about 48 orders. So this we can count them. If I want, I can simply just right click in here and change them. Let me see, I want to summarize this. Let's say by count or by sum, but by count is just fine. Yeah, by sum we can have that. It can't give me because it is some sort of the data that I really need to work on, right? Alright, so let me just summarize it by count so that I can count how many orders were made by each. So we can continue showing this data using the pivot charts and the like, so many things. So we can have also visuals in here. So I've calculated the profit. I've also shown you how to insert the dates. So what if we try to combine all this and use one thing, the pivot chart? Let me try to show you that. Let me get the line chart maybe this time around. Yeah, this looks pretty good, and I'm going to bring it in here. Let me see the design because I love designs. Yeah, that looks good. Today maybe let me use that. Alright, good. So here I'm having those there, and to analyze this data I can bring in the slicers. Yeah, let me say I want to use the customer names, and I want to track how each and customers work. Let me say I just want to talk about the Akimi Bites. Akimi Grocery is just there, and the cascade is there. So the slicers, they can help me to present data very well if I don't want to show the public everything at once. But if I want, I can just simply do that and move the filter, then everything can be seen. Great. So what is my conclusion today? As you've seen, you can use Power Pivot to combine data worksheets. As you can see, this data here that I've presented to you, I got it from the 2021 order worksheet and the 2022 orders worksheet, right? Secondly, you can filter off the mistakes so easily. You can say it's a mistake, but yet it is not. But the data which is in there is very valid, and we need that data. We don't have to delete it. I have the custom IDs combined with the rest the customer names. So what I can do is what I did to separate these two. And it is very simple, like what we've seen. I initiated some calculations where we came up with the profits that we made, this column here, and the dates calculated. Alright, what other thing have we done? We came up with all the visuals here that we can use to present our data, and it is good. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. See you on the next one.